Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. I'm just mixing myself a sky colour, the two blues, cerulean blue and ultramarine blue, and I want to be a little lighter as well. A bit lighter there. There we go. This colour as well. So I've got two blues, a light and a dark. And I'm going to use that for this scene. Nice little scene. The horizon's about there. I'm using a sketchbook. Well, it is a sketchbook kind of, but people tend to use these for pictures and stuff, scrapbooking. But it is pretty much a sketchbook. So I'm just throwing in some colour. Throwing a little bit more blue at the top. And a little bit more light at the bottom. Yeah, something like that. Try and make sure I got that in the frame. I quite like my painting setup at the moment because I can see everything. I can see my my reference picture that I'm using to do the painting, and then I can see the painting on another screen, and then I've got my mic right close so I can get good audio. Seems to work quite well for me actually, so I'm enjoying it at the moment, enjoying my painting as well. So anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of cloud in there in the sky. There isn't really that much cloud in the sky, but I don't always paint exactly what I'm seeing. Sometimes I change it. Just like that, a few clouds. Just throw that on there. And I'm not going to bother blending that or anything. It's quite nice. Quite like it. So on the next bit, we've got our sky. Quick spray of the paint using an atomizer. Perfect for keeping the paint wet. I was going to say perfect for keeping the paint dry then. Perfect for keeping the paint wet. Give it a quick spray every now and then. So now, using the same colour, I need to put the water in because we've got a bridge. I could choose where I want the bridge really in the composition. I think about there. So we need to put the light in, the reflected light from the sky, of course. And then it comes across. Just trying to get the angle right, something like that. If you watched my previous episode, you would probably recognize this a bit, the look of it anyway. because it was on the same day, and I took this photo as well. It's another one of my old photos. So I do this as well. Don't know if I mentioned this. I probably have. I hold my brush up at the scene and I sort of go like that at the scene, and then I go to the page and go like that. You can't see all this water because there's a bush here. There's all sorts of stuff growing here, and there's the bridge there, over there, which we can paint. But we'll just get this done, so we've got, as it dries, we can paint on top of it, which is good. So now I'm going to get some brown, burnt umber, throw it into my blue, and that gives us the background colour. Use a bit of that sky colour to get your background in. Works perfectly. There's a bunch of trees that go off there. And then there's a few here as well. Well, a couple of bigger ones. There's one there. So the only thing I find with using the corner of the brush, you want to try and avoid this. And you get loads of, well actually that looks quite good, but but try and avoid a lot of triangular strokes. You want to try and make round strokes out of a triangular part of your brush, basically. Because I did that on a painting, and I didn't notice until I looked back at it, and I was like, oh no, I don't like that. I mean, I say that from a very judgmental mind of my own, judging my own painting, because you're your worst critic, aren't you? Someone will probably look at it and not even notice or like that part of the painting. The part that you don't like tends to be liked more by other people, so. But anyway. Anyway, so I'm going to use this colour just so I can get where the bridge is. It should be a bit, I think I've done that a bit too. I think it should be there. Out there. I think the bridge, it goes here. I'm just getting my idea in, really. It's a little bit wet still, but I'm not really bothered. I just want to get the idea in. Couldn't quite get that shape right for some reason. That isn't it. There we go. Don't know if you can see that. Just getting that shape underneath, because for some reason it wasn't struggled to get it right anyway. Oh, there. There we go. So I'm going to leave that to dry and I'll carry on with the background again where we can see. Oh, I haven't got any green. Oh, I forgot something. A bit of sap green will do the trick. I'm running out of it actually. Got to buy some. Oh, I have got some green. What's that one? Don't know about that. Don't know what it is. Can't remember. Pine green. I don't know about that. I don't know why I got these. The colours that are they're not right to me. I prefer the traditional sort of names. Oh well, I'll still use them, of course. So as this is drying, I might sort of sketch in some of the areas as well, so we can make it easier on ourselves, so we can see where everything is. So I've got a path, and it comes there. It goes sort of there. It must go like that around and then up again, because I think it goes down a hill, because you can't really see it there. It's been a while since I walked down here. I used to walk down here. Used to be one of the walks that I would do with my dog. Some light. See, my order of doing paintings, I don't really have an order, to be honest. I don't always paint the sky first. I know a lot of artists would say, yes, paint the sky first, but I don't know why I did it in that funny voice. I don't think it matters, to be honest. I honestly don't. Do your plans, or just go for it. Got my imaginary point of view. So there's a path that goes along here, and you walk over that bridge to the other side, and then you go down there. This is the way I used to walk, and go up there, and then you up there is the view of the other painting that I did. Probably should have done this one first, and then anyway, we need a bit of brown to go along here. Making a right hash of this. I put too much red in the colour. There we go. That's probably a bit better. I can just chuck some blue in it, just to cool it down a bit. The old field there is brown. And there's a green little line in front of that, but we'll use that colour first. Actually, this is almost a path colour. It's actually quite a good colour. Blip, blip, blip. There we go. There. There's a green there, so let's green that. Let's green it. Da, 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 da. Oh, dropped a brush. The old green, bit of a yellow ochre in it, I think. Quite a lot of paint, because what I find with acrylics, bit of white in there. If you have too much water in your paint, and the water dries, you don't have much left then, and you end up having to repaint a lot of areas. So if you go with quite a lot of paint on your brush, like I just did, you probably find it works a little bit easier on you. I mean, I'm really still coming to grips with acrylics, to be honest. I like painting with anything though. I used to be very strict with what I painted with. I'd only paint with oils, and then I started getting into using watercolour, and then gouache and stuff, and pastels, and it doesn't really matter to me now. I just like painting with anything. It's just enjoyable. It's an enjoyable hobby, isn't it? So let's talking too much, I'm not getting my painting done. Gonna get a little bit more green in this, a bit more green. Whoops. Actually that doesn't matter because there's all these things in the water there. So some people are quite clever with brush strokes. Sometimes they'll use like a smaller brush for this area, and then the brush gets bigger as it comes out, and they get bigger strokes as it gets close to it, and I find that really clever. Clever sausages. So I do that sometimes. I do bigger strokes, like here you can use the brush bigger, and then back there, I mean, I'm not changing my brush, I'm using the same brush, but you can use smaller strokes, and then you can create that illusion. Scale. Might as well put this in. There's all sorts of stuff growing here. I'll just slot that in there. All that talk about brush strokes, and then I'm scrubbing paint on. Don't matter, does it? Whatever you like. I just give tips, things that I've picked up over the time. I like to give the tips, so then you might want to use it and you might not. It's up to you. There's a couple of nice trees here. There is some light breaking through across here, and I will start adding some of it, but not yet. And there is quite a dark colour of the side where the light is not getting on that bit. It's not looking too bad so far. Not too bad. Looking at the areas, thinking, well, which is darker? This is quite dark here, so I might do a little bit of this here. All this stuff that's growing. It's quite dark around there as well. A little bit of blue and brown, a little bit of blue and brown there. Get this dark colour. Get that indication there. Throwing some yellow ochre in this path. Just muddying it up a little bit, really. Right, we'll let that dry a bit over here, and then we can go over to the other side. And pull some of that green into the water. Just pull it straight down in there. Okay, now where do we need to go next? Which part of the painting do we need to paint next? Over here there's a few closer trees. There's all sorts growing, all sorts of bushes and stuff. A little bit of brown, a little bit of blue. We can create these over here as well. Yeah, that works pretty good. I think there's a tree there. Nice distant one. There's another little bush there. I mean, detail. Nice bit of detail. To show you when I'm picking up my darks, I'm just grabbing some blue and brown, going into my green. Get that nice dark. That's what I want, a nice dark. Put some of these, I think they're hawthorns actually. Hawthorn trees in. Make good use of those, farmers do. They're all got spines in them. Just having a look at that. Quite like it. Need a little bit more dark in this area. Using quite a dry brush, some of the paint comes off. Okay. Just sitting up in my seat. Let's have a look at that. It's looking quite good. Quite a good scene coming, developing. Just try and prevent my paint from drying out. So I'm going to get some yellow, a bit of the crimson, a bit of the sap green, maybe a bit more of the yellow. Ooh, a bit of the cadmium yellow as well. So it's not really bright yellow, is it? It's quite a dull, I mean yellow. It's quite a dull green really. But I see it right on there. Does that stand out enough compared to what's there? Just tap some of it away. I might do a bit more on that because it is a little bit on the it's good, but it's not quite bright enough. Let's put a little bit more of this yellow on it. Bit of a yellowy red. Oh, that's better actually. That's more the colour. And we've got that on some of these areas. Bit of light going. Yeah, a bit of colour on some of these. Just an indication of a bit of colour. I don't need to go too crazy with those because they are in the background. I'm going to make another colour now, a bit more of the yellows, a bit of white, yellows, sap green. It's a nice green. Nice green this is. It should work down here. some of this as well. Use it in here. There's a bit of light actually there, I didn't even notice that. Sort of goes like that. There's quite a nice lighter area that comes here as well, sort of comes through. So we need to put these two trees, the two trees close together right there, and then what I might do before that, getting some yellow and white, and make a little bit lighter yellow just for that area. And this a bit as well. There is a few sort of dappled light areas in this actually. Might as well put a few of them in. Okay. Oh yeah, there's want a bit more light on that bit as well. There. Touch in there. Just moving that with my finger. I don't want too much in that bit. It's more in these bits that I've just picked out. A bit more of the green. So I quite like mixing the colours up as well, like I have done. Like this. There's a bit more sap green in this. And I'll put it on and then kind of mix it a little bit. This is kind of dark in most places. It's quite dark, so I won't overdo that. So what I might do is I'll dry this off, and then I can paint my two trees, and I can do the bridge, because I've left the bridge a bit, and there's a few like fence posts here and there as well. And I think I can brighten this a bit more in the areas that I need to. But it's, you know, it's coming together, isn't it? Starting to get somewhere. I need a bit more stuff here as well. And I think this needs cleaning up there. All these things. Yeah, it's sort of there, it needs. I think, anyway. I'll put one brush stroke down. I think that's probably a bit better. Oh, there's this as well. That really should be going to there. That should be going like there. But we can do all that. It's good to take your time. I like taking my time when I'm painting now. I used to always be in a bit of a rush. I don't think that's a good idea. So anyway, I'm going to just dry this off. Okay, I've given it a dry, and now I'm going to... I've noticed I'm painting at an angle. Oh, strange. So now I'm going to do the bridge. I'm going to work on that. Bit of blue, bit of brown. Bit of yellow. Try this colour, sort of a greyish. Now I need a dark bit. Just grabbing a bit of blue and brown. Just get a real dark. Don't think I can do it with that brush. I need the magic number 4 rigger. Dun dun dun, just to go. Yeah, like that. That's what I needed. And then a little bit of a... And then of course... the darkness of the reflection, which is also there in the water. So I do need a bit more blue. Just going to give this sort of a few brick and stone type indications. It is a really old stone bridge actually. A little bit of white on my brush just to put these little stone indications. Yeah, there we go. I think that's about right. There is a few bar type things, posts, but I don't know if I want them. Nah, I'm not going to bother with them, and I don't want this gate. There's a gate there. It used to annoy me actually that there was a gate there, but there is a few posts. I'll put them in. Best put a few of them in, aren't I? And there's a post there, a little sign on it. So that looks a bit better, doesn't it? A bit better. There. So now I've lost my colour here, my lightness, so I'm going to put that back in. Got some really nice light to put in here and there. Across that. Remember what I was saying about the brush strokes, make them a bit bigger as they get closer. Can tap along here, get some of this light on that. And then using this nice bright colour, we can make some of this sing a little bit. Some of it's got a bit of a hint of a red in it, to be honest. So I'll put that in as well. Yeah, you can keep working on it and making it a bit better, improving it a bit if you want to. That's what I'm doing. I can see like different bits that I can improve on, so I just go for it. Bit of green there. That needs darkening, that does. Blues. Yeah, that's quite nice. Better put the trees in. Get some trees in. I'm just grabbing some. I'll show you actually. Grabbing some blue and brown. I've got a tree there. And there's another one about there. Right there. A few branches in there. Colour on that. And this tree, it goes all the way up. They both do actually. They both go all the way up there. Yeah, something like that, and they are quite dark because there is trees here that are casting quite dark shadow. Well, they're not catching a great deal of light, let's put it that way. So I don't have to worry too much about that. But what I do want, luckily there was still leaves on the trees. So I want a really bluey green Try and get the shape of the tree. Tapping these leaves in. I think they want to be a bit duller than that, to be honest. Something like this. Yeah, something like that, those two trees there. Quite big trees. There's a bit of a dark spot there. Some of that, a bit darker than that. There's a big tree there and it's casting quite a dark shape. Like that down this side though. Bit specks of light, just little specks of it. Some warmth in it though. I couldn't quite capture that warmth. That'll probably capture it better using red. Some white and yellow. Need some white in the reddish colour. Something like that. Let that dry a bit. I might change it actually. I don't really like all these breaks of colour. I might just pretend it's just green, grassy, sort of like that, to there. And then go darker, like in a section, like that. Maybe pretend there's a big tree shadow there. Yeah, just kind of changed it a bit there. I found it a little bit too bitty, I suppose. It's just you can change it the way you want it to look. It's your painting, isn't it? And we're not all about, well, I'm not all about painting exactly what I see. Sometimes I like to change it to be more like what I would like. So I think that's a bit nicer. like that. But anyway, that'll do for that. Get that bit of darkness there. And then that one side, what I want to get this green, dark green, and start putting these in, because there's all sorts of stuff growing over here. Brambles and things, I reckon. Few lines and things. Yeah. I quite like that actually. That's quite nice. I like the way that's better to me. It sort of sweeps into where the bridge is. I'm tempted to put myself on the bridge. Or where I look sort of blue, I think. If I was on that bridge, where would I go? I reckon I'd be walking there. Looks like a penguin. There's a penguin on the bridge. Oh no. In my head. Oh dear. Doesn't look like a person, I don't know. Didn't like that way I did that. A little bit of sort of dark on the hair. I suppose it does. Yeah, I suppose it does. To get rid of this stain. Yeah, so I'm on there now. I'm in the painting. Just smooth that off a bit there. Make it look a bit better. Something I forgot to do is some really light sort of yellow ochre-y sort of grassy bits that are in there. Yellow ochre and a white colour. Just sort of stand back, sit back, stand back. Have a look at your painting. Well, that's a bit weird there. Because it isn't actually like that. Kind of comes around like this. Something like that. Yeah. It's quite nice. And then the typical little birdie. There was actually a bird here. I'll paint it exactly where it is. Right there, there's a little bird. So I'll just have that one. And kind of want to stretch the shadow across there. Yeah, and I think I'm about there actually. Enjoyed doing this painting. Hope you enjoyed watching. Give you an idea what you could do. Of course, I always think you could do better. Bit of colour in there. Yeah, there we go. There's our little scene. So our little scene walking across the bridge. And who knows where the dog's gone. Maybe we could put a little indication of Toby. He used to leg it in these trees. I'll put an indication of him there. Yeah, that's quite good. That's a nice little indication of Toby. Me and walking my dog. Enjoying myself. Good times. We should have some good walks up here. So anyway, we'll call this one finished, and I'll say thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you at another one. Cheers, bye.